Welcome to heat part 5. As we discussed earlier and we knew what is specific heat and latent heat, some students will definitely have confusion between specific heat and latent heat and where to use the formulas including specific heat or that contains latent heat. Let us try to understand why distinguishing the specific heat and latent heat. So before understanding the differences between specific heat and latent heat, let us recollect the definitions of both specific heat and latent heat. What is specific heat? As we discussed, it is the quantity of heat. Specific heat is nothing but quantity of heat that is essential by unit mass of a substance to raise its temperature through 1 degree Celsius. So let me make it clear. You have a particular substance. Consider unit mass of that particular substance like 1 gram. So for that 1 gram of substance, you have to supply heat to raise the temperature of that particular 1 unit mass of substance through 1 degree Celsius. For example, you have 1 gram of water and the temperature of 1 gram of water is 22 degrees Celsius. Now consider. So now the amount required by that 1 gram water at 22 degrees Celsius to raise its temperature to 23 degrees Celsius is said to be specific heat. Let me make it clear. 1 gram of water at 22 degrees Celsius. You're supplying some sort of heat, and that heat, if it rises its temperature by 1 degree Celsius, that is 22 plus 1, if it rises its temperature to 23 degrees Celsius, then it is the specific heat of water. Not only the specific heat of water, but any substance. Okay, then what is latent heat? The amount of heat required to change the phase or state of unit mass of substance. For example, 1 gram of water, you have to convert unit mass, that is 1 gram of water, into water vapor. What is the amount of heat you need to supply? So that will be its latent heat. For example, 1 gram of ice, you have to convert 1 gram of ice into water. How much amount of heat do you require? That is latent heat. And we already discussed that latent heat is the hidden heat. Why do you call it as hidden heat? Because whatever the heat you supply during a state change, the substance temperature doesn't rise. The temperature of ice remains at 0 degrees Celsius. Whatever the heat you may give, the temperature doesn't change until all the ice is converted to water. So at this point of time, the heat you supply cannot be noticed by using a thermometer. Hence, you call it as a latent heat. So that's the difference between specific heat and latent heat. Specific heat is talking about change in temperature, whereas latent heat is talking about change of state of a substance. So let me make it clear. Specific heat is the amount of heat required to convert required to change the temperature of or raise the temperature of unit mass of a substance through 1 degree Celsius. Whereas latent heat is the amount of heat required to change the state of unit mass of a substance. That is from solid to liquid or liquid to gaseous state, or that may be reverse phenomena. Gaseous state to liquid state to solid state again. Okay, so that is about specific heat. You use specific heat when there is change in temperature. In problems, I am talking about the use of formulae including specific heat and latent heat. For example, in 10th class, sometimes you have to use, in order to find the quantity of heat, you have to use the formula ms delta T, and sometimes you use the formula latent heat into mass. So you use this particular formula that contains specific heat when there is delta T, change in temperature, that may be rise in temperature or fall in temperature in a particular process. If there is a change in temperature, then you are going to use this particular formula in order to find the quantity of heat, that is ms delta T. If there is no change in temperature and that particular substance is changing its state. That may be either from solid state to liquid state or liquid state to gaseous state or vice versa. Then you are going to use the formula that contains latent heat. Latent heat means hidden. So in a process, if there is change in temperature, you are going to use the formula Q is equal to ms delta T, and in the numerics, in the problems, if there is change in state, then in order to find the quantity of heat that is required or you supply by using the formula L into M. So I am writing this differentiation by keeping in view of how you have to use the formulas in the numericals of heat. So you use the formula Q is equal to ms delta T when there is a change in temperature. You use the particular formula Q is equal to latent heat into mass, latent heat times mass, when there is change in the state. So I don't want to write the definitions again, but it is very important to know the difference between the units of specific heat and the units of latent heat. Units of specific heat, it is calorie per gram per degree Celsius. Because when you look into formula, you can clearly understand Q is equal to ms delta T. S gives Q by m delta T. Q is the energy, the unit of energy is calorie, the unit of mass is gram, and the unit of temperature is degree Celsius. So the units of specific heat, S is equal to Q by m delta T. You need not by heart the units. It is very easy to remember once you get the formula. So calorie per gram degree Celsius or joule per kg Kelvin. Now latent heat is the quantity of heat required to change the state of unit mass. So units of latent heat will be calorie per gram. So as you go to higher classes, you look into heat capacity. This is specific heat capacity. You look into another quantity called as heat capacity, but I don't want to discuss about that heat capacity in this particular class because it raises your confusion or it confuses you more. So that's the way or where you have to use the formula to find quantity of heat by using ms delta T, or the formula to find the quantity of heat by using L into M. Please note this, and I'll make it clear when we go into numericals of heat.